What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Thomas Gallery. Boom. I'm just playing with y'all. And today, I want to talk about, we have a little art talk. I want to talk about what is animation. A lot of people probably don't really understand what it is. They probably just hear the word. I just came from the store. Hold on, y'all. They probably hear the word and they just go along with it, but don't really dive into what it means. So let's do that, okay? Animation. Now, there's a difference between a drawing and animation. Animation is not really, the actual meaning of the word does not pertain only to drawing or to art, okay? Animation is two different words. Animate or animate, like someone is like animate or inanimate. Animate means to move, to be alive, okay? The suffix tion, the tion, means the act of, okay? So animation means the act of moving, okay? Now, anything can be animated, like a dog it's an act of moving, animation, okay? Now, how it pertains to art is this. Before you had moving images, that's all animation is moving images in a sequence. You had still shots or still drawings or still frames. You had carvings on the walls. They may have given the impression of movement. Like if you see like on an Egyptian wall, you see them like this. It gave the impression of movement, but it was not actually moving. Okay? The image itself was not actually moving. It was not animate. It was inanimate, non-moving. But when you start getting to, backtrack. When you go to like, you read a actual comic from a newspaper. Okay? That's a comic strip. Okay? It's not moving. It gives images that show a personal object in motion, but the actual object itself is not moving. Okay? Where animation comes in is when you take those, let's say you take a Spider-Man comic strip out of a newspaper, right? And you do one drawing, okay? One still image, then you do another still image and another and so forth and so on. And in making the continuous still images, you give that object different form to give the illusion of continuous movement. Okay, so I could do one still like this, another like this, another like this, another like this. Now, they're still frames, but we put in motion, go like this. Okay? This is animation. This, and this is just a still frame. So, animation is pretty much, in terms of art, is when you give still frames or still shots or thumbnails, how you want to put it, the illusion of fluid motion to imitate what you will actually see in real life. Okay? In reality, I am animate. When I am in the process of moving, I am literally animation. Okay? The process of moving. What I'm doing right now is animation. Okay? A cartoon is the illusion of actual animation. Now we have something called anime, A-N-I-M-E, anime. And anime is simply, despite what anyone may think, anime is simply the shorthand version of saying the word animation. It's a slang for animation. Animation, anime. Because regardless of how you want to call it, whether it's Japanese animation, American animation, the rules still follow. You are still drawing, you're still drawing still frames or still images, giving the illusion of continuous motion. But it's still frames. Okay? The objective of animation is to trick the eye and trick the brain into thinking that what you are seeing on screen, whatever cartoon you're looking at, whatever show you're looking at, or mainly cartoon, whatever cartoon you're looking at, the objective is to trick the brain and trick the eye into believing that what you are seeing is one fluid motion, when in actuality it is not. No cartoon is in actual fluid motion. None. Not Japanese animation, not no CGI, none of that. It is not in continuous fluid motion. It gives the illusion of continuous fluid motion. Therefore, you call it animation. Your mind is tricked into believing that the actual thing is alive. It is not. Okay? Well, that's simply what animation is. And like I said, you have different styles of animation. You have different places, different geographical locations have their own particular style of animation. Like you say, you have the very famous Japanese animation. They have a very distinctive drawing style, very distinctive dialogue style. They have a very distinctive cinematic style, landscape. Everything is very, very distinctive. You deal with that Japanese animation. You deal with American animation. It is also very distinctive. You actually can tell the difference. And for those particular cultures or countries that have animation, you can tell the difference. You can see the difference in Chinese animation and in Japanese animation, as opposed to American animation or European animation. Like if you see like a French cartoon film, it looks very different from an American cartoon film, which looks very different from a Japanese cartoon film, which is different from a Chinese. So it's all different. But the thing that they all have in common is that they all give the illusion of continuous motion, when in actuality it is not. Animation simply means the act of, that's the tion, T-I-O-N, the act of motion, or animate. When you are in motion, it usually assumes that you are alive. So you can say the act of living or the act of moving. Okay, that's what it is. It pertains to living objects, plants, animals, humans, insects, bugs, whatever you want to call it. Those things are actually animate. A rock is not animate. It is inanimate. It does not move on its own. A rock will not get up and walk over to across the street. It won't do that. Something has to move it. Something outside of itself has to move it. If something outside of itself has to move it, it is not animate. Okay? A plant can grow. It can move. A plant can move up. Outside of itself, it does not need assistance to grow up. Okay? A human does not need assistance. Well, in some cases. In most cases, a human does not need assistance to get up and walk. Okay? A dog, under its own power, can get up and walk. Okay? Water. The only reason why water moves is because of gravity. If water can move on its own, it would not have a hard time going upstream. Okay? If water was on a hill, going like this, if it was actually alive, it would not need help going up. Water only goes down because of gravity. It is not animate. Humans can go up a hill. Water cannot. Okay? So that's simply the basis of what animation is. Now, I did all that and I brought it back to cartoons. Cartoons give the illusion of animation. It's not actually animation. It is still frames drawn in a continuous fluid sequence to give the illusion of actual movement. Okay? That's all it is. So, it's just my little rant. Hope y'all enjoy that. I will catch you all later. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will catch you all later. Peace.